What's going on, guys? What's going on? Today we're going to be talking about the rise and story of Pascal Siakam, how he came to be, and a little bit about obviously everything that's transpired today with him purchasing a house for his mother. We're going to talk about his story to the NBA, going from Cameroon to where he is today, which is pretty intense and pretty awesome. So, as we know, every NBA player's story is a little different, right? And honestly, the path, it really just goes any which way for a lot of players. And for a lot of people, their passion is to be in the NBA. But for Pascal Siakam, early in his life, growing up in Africa, he really didn't necessarily want to go to Africa, right? Because living there, he didn't really want to play in the NBA. His primary passion was soccer. And obviously at like 17 years old is when he started to play basketball. But his dream was to be a soccer player growing up in Africa. And his life took a twist at 11 years old when he was leaving boarding school. And in the summer of 2012 was the life-changing place for Pascal Siakam, where he went to Luc Mbah a Moute's camp this year purely for fun, and he caught someone's eye and was invited to Basketball Without Borders in South Africa. And Siakam didn't really think much of this invitation at the time. He was more just just going with the flow of things and just wanted to see his sister who was out there in South Africa. And he really didn't get his passion until he went there. And when he got there, he remembers entering the building and seeing a massive crowd of people gathered around on the other side of the gym. And he was standing next to a camper and asked, "Who are these guys? Why is everyone so excited? Come on, man. That's Serge Ibaka and Luau Deng." So the camper then looked at Siakam like he was crazy because Siakam never even heard of these guys. So he was not in the NBA circles by any means. And then all of a sudden, the fun aspect of that basketball camp was done. For him, his dream was to play in the NBA after that camp. So that's sort of when Siakam, at such an old age too, at age 17, he really sort of came to be at that point. And we'll end this with some Q&A with the live stream here, but at the basketball camps back home, Siakam got by with his natural talent and athleticism, but now in the U.S., that's when he really had to learn and develop his game. Siakam got a few letters, no big college programs, but New Mexico was impressed with him. College was a growing and adapting process for Siakam. According to him, he got his ass kicked every day while learning the ropes of college basketball. Once again, a really raw player at this time, didn't have a lot of basketball experience, and that really triggered the same mindset of overcoming these obstacles. And Siakam was in the gym every morning and night his entire freshman year trying to get better. The next summer, just as the season was approaching and Siakam was in great shape, he received heartbreaking news that his father had passed away in Cameroon. This was obviously a huge step back, but his mother refused him to come home and to stay and pursue his NBA dream. But that's when Siakam really took it to the next level and wanted to make his family proud and really pushed and took his game to the next level. He had an excellent freshman year and was named the WAC Freshman of the Year. He didn't want to think about the NBA just yet, but in the back of his mind, he knew it was definitely a possibility. In his sophomore year, he averaged 20 points, 11 boards, and 2 blocks as the NBA noise started to increase for him. He was named the WAC Player of the Year, and the dream of the NBA was right there. Siakam then had to attend numerous workouts with NBA teams, but the Raptors one was different. After dominating in the Raptors group workout, when he thought his decision in his future would become easier, it was becoming more confusing than ever. He was hit with all sort of statements and predictions. This is sort of what the NBA media was saying throughout the time when he was playing. This was like near the draft, and a lot of what people are saying is that he was going to be a late second-round pick. He could be picked in the 20s, about him playing in Europe for a year, and people didn't think he was ready. But Siakam opted to keep his name in the draft pool. And Siakam watched the draft in Orlando with his brothers, agent, and a few friends. And Siakam recalls the nervous moment. So here's a direct quote from him. He said he had so much nervous energy, he could barely sit still. At the first round went on into the early 20s, I started to get more anxious, even more worried. Maybe entering the draft had been a huge mistake. Then, when the 27th pick was announced, and I heard Adam Silver call my name, everyone around me lost it. His brothers were crying and screaming, and he honestly had a surreal moment with his family. From that moment on, that's when Siakam grew into a key player for the Raptors. right? So that day he was drafted, he was developed by the Raptors front office and really took his game to the next level, and really became the star max player that he is now. So I'm going to go into the Q&A, a couple questions in the stream team here, but are you confident that Pascal Siakam is going to get back to playing at an all-star level next season? I do think so, and the reason why is because we've seen what he's done the last few seasons just as a player, going from a project player, a guy who didn't get a lot of work, didn't get a lot of opportunity, I should say, with the team, take it to the next level, right? He went from a guy who, like I said, was a bench player, part of that bench mob, to becoming a starter, winning most improved player, to an all-star last season. And he's had a little bit of a jolt this year, maybe a hit back to reality as teams start to play him as the number one guy. But in my opinion, I think that as he continues to develop his game, as he continues to get more comfortable as the number one option, he's going to get a lot more opportunity. And even now, late in the season, we're seeing him become more comfortable in this role for Toronto, able to dominate mismatches, able to really take advantage with his size inside and not relying on the three-point shot as much. So I think he's going to definitely use that to his advantage and continue to develop and become a guy that I predict next season will be an all-star. And I think Toronto's record will be significantly better. And another reason is potentially with Toronto going back, or the Raptors going back to Toronto, is that he is the kind of guy that thrives off the energy of a crowd as well. So with him there back at home, I think it'll be huge. Another guy put in jersey giveaway today. Yep, going to be announcing the jersey giveaway today on my Instagram. If you don't follow, make sure to hit us up there. But that's it for this one. Just a quick little talk about the Pascal Siakam story and how awesome it is. So thanks for listening. Make sure to subscribe. Peace out.